The Begunkodar Railway Station in West Bengal, India, is not just a station but a gateway to untold terror. Abandoned for decades, it has been labeled as one of the most haunted places in the country. Behind its eerie silence lies a tale of tragedy, death, and spine-chilling encounters that will make even the bravest souls think twice before stepping onto its deserted platform. The backstory: built in 1960, the Begunkodar Railway Station was once a small but functional stop for local passengers. Its surroundings were picturesque, with lush green fields and the calm hum of village life, but beneath the surface of this serenity lurked a dark curse that would forever shroud the station in fear. The legend begins with a young station master who worked tirelessly to keep the station operational. He was newly married, and his wife often accompanied him on late-night shifts. One fateful evening, she was walking along the tracks when locals claimed they saw her being followed by a shadowy figure. The next morning, her lifeless body was found sprawled across the tracks. Her death was ruled an accident, but rumors spread like wildfire. Villagers whispered of a specter that haunted the tracks at night, calling out to unsuspecting victims in her voice, luring them to their doom. Soon after, sightings of her ghost near the station began to rise. The first encounter: in the months following the station master's wife's death, a local train driver reported seeing a woman in white standing in the middle of the tracks. He applied the emergency brakes, but when the train stopped, there was no one there. Strangely, passengers on the train claimed to hear a woman laughing, the sound echoing eerily through the station. Then came the most chilling account. A group of passengers waiting for a late-night train reported seeing the figure of a woman on the platform. Her long, disheveled hair covered her face, and her movements were unnaturally jerky, as if she were a puppet on strings. When one of the passengers approached her to ask if she needed help, she turned her face toward him. Her eyes were hollow sockets, and her mouth twisted into a scream that no one could hear. The tragic closure: over the years, strange accidents began to plague the station. Trains derailed mysteriously near Begunkodar, and several station employees refused to work there after dark, claiming to hear whispers and see shadowy figures. In 1967, tragedy struck again when the station master himself was found hanging in his office, a look of utter terror frozen on his face. His death was ruled a suicide, but locals were convinced it was the work of the ghost. With the station's reputation tarnished and fear gripping the community, it was eventually abandoned. The station lay dormant for decades, its eerie silence broken only by the occasional whistle of passing trains that refused to stop. Modern-day paranormal activity: despite its abandonment, Begunkodar Railway Station continues to attract thrill-seekers, paranormal investigators, and curious travelers. Many have reported hair-raising experiences, the echoing laughter. A group of college students who spent the night at the station claimed they heard the sound of a woman laughing, growing louder as the night deepened. One of them swore he felt a cold hand grip his shoulder, though no one was behind him. The phantom train: locals tell tales of a ghost train that arrives at the station in the dead of night. Its engine glows an eerie blue, and the silhouettes of passengers can be seen inside, but the train never stops. It vanishes into the darkness as quickly as it appears. The possession: a villager who attempted to spend the night at the station reported being possessed. He screamed incoherently about a woman dragging him toward the tracks. When his friends found him, he had scratch marks across his arms and chest. Theories and legends. There are several theories about why Begunkodar is haunted. The vengeful spirit. Locals believe the ghost of the station master's wife seeks revenge for her untimely death, blaming the station for her tragic end. The cursed land. Some say the station was built on land cursed by a tribal community that was displaced during its construction. Psychological fear. Skeptics argue that the eerie atmosphere and local superstitions create a psychological phenomenon, causing people to imagine paranormal events. But the countless eyewitness accounts tell a different story, one that science has yet to explain. A brief revival. In 2009, Begunkodar Railway Station was reopened, thanks to the efforts of local activists. But even now, trains rarely stop there after sunset. Passengers who have traveled through the station at night often report an unshakable feeling of being watched. Some claim to see fleeting figures in the shadows, while others hear faint whispers urging them to leave. The tale of Begunkodar Railway Station is a chilling reminder that some places are marked by tragedy and terror. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain: Begunkodar has an energy that defies explanation. As the station stands against time, its secrets remain buried in the darkness, waiting for the next curious soul to unravel them. Would you dare visit after midnight? If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about haunted places and true horror, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Who knows, your town might be the next topic we uncover. Until then, stay safe and stay scared.